Hello, today we're taking a look at the AC130. So it moves, as you can see, it moves a bit, doesn't need to move that much, you can make it faster. There's your shadow, so if I click, I shoot a missile every 5 seconds. I can zoom more in and shoot 5 grenades, and I can zoom even more in to launch 10 bullets. So I can do this, I can shoot like 2 grenades and then some bullets and then the other grenades and the final bullet, then missile and yada. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, bullet and grenade and missile materials, pretty simple, just like that, only the color changes. So that's the bullet, that's the grenade, one did purple, and that's the missile, one did green, so we can we can tell which is what. So yeah, and of course the path that the AC130 is going to follow, which is right this thing. So you need to make sure it's pretty big, so it does get destroyed before it reaches the end, so it doesn't get stationary. This is a basic blueprint with only spline component, which is the root component, so it can be editable on the editor. Now, of course, our first person character is going to spawn the AC130 when he presses a key, in our case H. So always spawn, try to adjust location and possess the actual aircraft. So we got a couple of things we need as well. The one thing is in enumeration, or enum for short, which has 3 elements: missile, grenade and bullet. This is the mode that the AC-130 in. So if you're shooting a missile, a grenade or a bullet respectively. And then we've got the AC-130 pawn. Be careful, this is a pawn, it's not an actor. Why is it a pawn? Because we need this part, which is stolen from the first person example. Look up, down and turn right and left. This is how you do it, but be careful though, you want your camera to use the pawn control rotation for this to work. So this is our AC-130. This is supposed to be your custom mesh and stuff, so pretty basic configuration. Now we got some stuff you need to know before we proceed. So this one is the transformation of where the missiles, grenades and bullets are going to spawn. So it's like a little bit in front of the camera, so it does not collide with the aircraft or the camera itself. So it's going to get the forward vector and it's going to spawn right about there, so 1 meter in front. That's the basic vector math, and the camera's rotation, so pretty basic. Bear in mind that due to inaccuracy, the AC-130's projectiles are small explosives actually, so you can mess around with that later. And we got our shoot missile, shoot grenade and shoot bullet. They're about the same thing. Excuse my coughing. So the missile spawn the AC-130 missile actor, pretty basic with get launch thruster. Now the grenade and the bullet are essentially the same thing, but the grenade has a scale value of 0.65 and the bullet has scale value of 0.2. So yeah, so we need to have different sizes. In this case I'm using just spheres, so I want them to be like that. These projectiles are pretty basic on the begin overlap. You can do whatever you want with the explosion here and then destroy the actor. For example, you can do predator missiles logic on the destroy function on the missile. So pretty basic stuff. Now another two stuff are the reload. These are two custom events. They're custom events, not functions, because we need to use the delay node. 5 seconds it takes to reload either the grenades, either the bullets. It happens asynchronously. So yeah, let's walk you through the variables a bit. Bullet mag and grenade mag is the current magazine capacity of the AC130. We don't have a missile mag because the missile timer is the only thing we need, because we're shooting only one missile at a time. But we got an internal grenade and bullet timer, which is going to determine how fast we're going to shoot bullets and grenades. We got distance, so we can move along the spline. I've covered that in a different tutorial, so this is a basic updated distance with a custom velocity and stuff. And then grab the path from the game mode, which we have set in the level blueprint, as you can see right there. Then grab it and get the rotation and rotation and set the actor with a sweep. So you should watch the chopper gunner tutorial if you don't understand that. Now these are the timer updates. We just update the timers based on the delta seconds. So yeah, we just added delta seconds each timer. And the second pin is the duration check. So if we've controlled the AC130 for 45 seconds, we want to destroy this and possess our player pawn. So yeah, you can change that to the duration you want. Now this whole thing right there is your shooting logic. It's really basic, bear with me. So first things first, input action fire. We don't want each click to fire a bullet or a missile because they sometimes happen way too fast. So yeah, we keep a variable for our fire button if it's down or not. And if it's down, we switch with the mode. So the default mode is missiles, so every 5 seconds we can shoot a missile. I've covered that in many different tutorials before, so you should watch them from the start. Every 5 seconds you shoot a missile, you reset the timer. Now, regarding grenades and bullets, because we have a magazine, we need to check if there are enough bullets. As you can see, the default values are 5 and 10. So if it's greater than no, we can proceed to shoot them. I'll explain that later. If it's less than no, or equal, so if we've got no grenades, we reload them right there. So yeah, but if you have, we check if the timer is valid. So in that case, we want to shoot the grenade each 0.85 seconds and the bullet each 0.04 seconds. So it's like this burst, if you know what I mean. And if it's true, we set the grenade, we set the internal timer, and then we decrement the magazines, which is essentially removing one. So if it's 9, it will be 8. If it's 8, it will be 7. So this is the basic mechanic. Now I've gone on our project settings, input, and added a scroll wheel with the mouse wheel axis. So we want our AC130 to change two modes based on the scroll wheel. So we have the 90 FOV mode, the 80 field of view mode, and the 70 field of view mode. And that's what we do right here, as you can see. So we set the mode and then we set the camera's field of view. So the missile is going to have a field of view of 90, the grenade the field of view of 80, and the bullet the field of view of 70. Why do we change the field of view? Because that's how you zoom with a camera actually, and then you can add your own post-process settings and add overlays and make it look however you want. So you can even change this input to much other stuff. Now if it's up, no, so we switch. regarding its state and whether we're pushing the scroll wheel up or down, we set the mode and the field of view. So if it's the missile, you can't go more up, you can only go down. So if we're pushing down, which is we're checking with this node, so this input axis gets values from -1 to 0 to 1. So if it's 1, so there's a tick down, as you can see. I'm zooming out right now. So we set the mode to grenade, which is the lower level, and the other thing gets done vice versa with the bullets. So we'll set the grenade if it's up, and then the same thing happens with the grenade. If it's up, we're going to set the missile. If it's down, we're going to set bullet mode, and then respectively each FOVs with the camera reference. So this wraps up our AC130 tutorial. I'll probably get some sounds going on as well, so see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.